ahead and get started with the Neutrogena Hydro Boost, and I'm going to be using this all over my skin. It's just kind of a gel moisturizer. I really like to use this before I do my makeup, and I'm going to go in and use the Maybelline Baby Lips as just kind of a lip prep and move into my eyebrows. I'm going to be using the NYX Micro Brow Pencil. I really love this pencil. Definitely really recommend. You can find it at Target. And then I went in with Maybelline's Brow Drama, which is basically a mascara for your eyebrows so they kind of stay in place. And then I'm going to prep my eyes, and I decided to use any concealer. Literally all you have to do is just kind of blend it out. You can even use your finger and then set it with powder. But before I do that, I do want to kind of crisp up my eyebrows a little bit. So I'm using this NYX Conceal and Correct Contour Palette, and I'm going to be using an eyeliner brush just to clean it up underneath my brows and over my brows, just to kind of make it pop a little bit more, and this will make it look like you kind of filled in your brows a lot more precise than you actually did. So it's kind of like the eraser for all your mistakes, but I really do like this. It's not as creamy as I would like it to be, but it's doable. Now I'm using my Neutrogena Healthy Skin Pressed Powder, and I'm going to be using a sponge just to apply this on my eyes. You don't have to use a sponge. I just prefer to use a sponge, so you can use a brush if you need to. And I'm going to be using my Sonia Kashuk Neutral Matte Palette. Honestly, the best palette on the market for like matte shadows on the drugstore. I'm going to be using this medium brown and a really fluffy brush and applying it like with my brush kind of facing downwards. What you're trying to do is create a kind of fade, and so we want to start out with the lightest brown shade and kind of work our way up. So right now I'm using the lightest one, kind of blending back and forth, and right now I'm focusing on making sure the crease blends well with my eyebrow highlight. So I'm going to use a light shadow, you can even use a powder, and apply that right underneath the brow, and then go back in and kind of blend again with the medium brown back and forth, and this will really help to create that like a fade. Now I'm going in deeper with an even darker brown, but I'm going to kind of stay neutral. Stay away from like the warm ones and kind of go for the neutral, but if you prefer warm, go ahead. But this one I'm going to focus more on the outer half, and then the deepest color I'm going to literally just poke a little bit on the outer corner and then use a clean brush to blend it in. I like to use circular motions and windshield wiper motions going back and forth to blend this, and in the end go back in with that lightest color and then just kind of do a really quick overlay. Now if you're more on the conservative side, you can stop here and just leave it on that, but I wanted some shimmer, so I'm going to go in with my Maybelline Color Tattoo in Barely Beige, and you could use the NYX Jumbo Eye Pencil too, it does not matter, but my color tattoo was so dry I had to dig my nail into there in order to go ahead and apply that on my face. Like I had to like warm it up on the back of my hand, but you know, you gotta make it work. You gotta make it work. So I went ahead and blended that out, but the reason why I'm doing this is to make sure that like our eyeshadow is basically primed. I'm going to be using the CoverGirl Champagne eyeshadow, and if I just applied this straight up on my eye, it probably wouldn't be as pigmented, it wouldn't look as kind of fresh. I don't know. Just personally, I like to use a cream shadow underneath it, and it makes it last a little bit longer. I definitely hit myself with that palette, but I'm going to be using the Morphe 35F palette because I wanted the color to be a little bit more gold, and I just felt like the CoverGirl shadow was not doing it for me. But after you apply all the shimmer, feel free to go back in and kind of blend away the harsh edges between the shimmer and the matte. And I like to go in and add a little bit more of that deep brown color back and forth. It's totally up to you how you feel like it looks, but I'm going to go in with my NYX Glitter Primer, and I'm going to be using it on the eyes. Pat it, don't kind of shove it side to side. This will kind of help it stay on top of your eyeshadow and not kind of mess it all up. But I'm using the NYX Roll-On Glitter Shimmer, or Roll-On Shimmer in Salmon. And you can definitely find other colors that they have, so feel free to change it up if you want to make it rose gold or something. And then I go in with this beautiful eye studio palette from Maybelline in Coral Oasis. It's just a deeper brown. I just felt like it was beautiful. And then I'm going to be using my NYX Dewy Finishing Setting Spray and kind of spray that on the brush and on my eyes and just pat it in. This will make the color pop more and look a little bit more metallic. I love it. I do this all the time. So gorgeous. Now I'm using my hands to wipe off any excess glitter, but feel free to go in with some tape. Yes, I said tape. Use some tape on it and it'll come off. But I'm going to be using my e.l.f. gel eyeliner just to line my eyes. I do have a tutorial on that if you guys want to go check it out. I'll make sure to link it down below. And then I just apply black eyeshadow on top of it because I like to make sure that it's set. I find my eyeliner moving around if I don't do that, so I had to do it. Now I'm going to curl my lashes and use my L'Oreal Voluminous Mascara in Carbon Black. It is one of my favorites, you guys. If you haven't tried it, you have to. And now I'm going to be using my L'Oreal Magic Lumi Primer and my NYX Shine Killer. Kind of didn't really like the NYX Shine Killer TBH show. I would say check out maybe a different one, but I definitely like the Lumi Primer. I just feel like I need a new one because I'm kind of running low on it, and yes, it did just kind of squirt all over my face. careful, makeup is a weapon. So I'm gonna go ahead and blend that away with my brush. To be honest, I probably would have reconsidered what kind of primers I was using because it wasn't really mixing well with my L'Oreal Magic Nude Liquid Powder foundation. So just be careful. Again, check what the ingredients are. If you have a water-based foundation, use kind of water-based primers. If you mix oil and water, it's kind of difficult to blend. Now I'm going to be using my Real Techniques brush and just blending away the foundation and running in with some concealer. This is the Sonia Kashuk concealer palette because I had some blemishes. I don't know if you caught that in the beginning. I got some giant pimples growing, you guys, giant. And now I'm going to be using the L'Oreal Magic Lumi kind of, what is it called? Highlighter. And I'm going to apply this all over the under eyes and on my nose and on my forehead. This is going to help kind of just brighten up that area. You could also use like a lighter concealer. You can use some, I don't know, some lighter powder, whatever it is that you want, but I do find that this one gives a nice reflective property. You could even use like a highlighting primer underneath your eyes, whatever it is that you need. But I like to also go in with the Rimmel Match Perfection concealer, and that kind of actually already has a highlight in there, so I'm kind of doing extra steps, but I don't know why. I just feel like I need to. Also, this brush is not meant for setting concealer. It's meant for contouring, but I like needed a brush and this was the only one that was clean. Lazy people problems. Now also go in with some concealer. I'm using that Sonia Kashuk palette to just clean up your eyeliner. Honestly, it does so much good, and what you're going to do is just kind of brush it downwards and then set it with powder. It'll make your eyeliner look as if you like tried so hard and made it so miraculous. So if you make it a little bit too thin, if the angle is off, don't be worried. Go in with some concealer and you can fix it up. Now I'm going to be going in with my Maybelline Better Skin powder, and I actually like to use the sponge that comes with it and just pat it in. I feel like it blurs my pores really well, and I also like to pat it in with a brush after, but it just makes my skin look more perfect, and I'm not someone who likes powder on my skin, so I'm gonna be honest, this means a lot. Now I'm gonna go contour, and I'm gonna be using my Wet n Wild contouring palette. I really wish I blended it a little bit more, to be honest. If you catch one of the sides, kind of just doesn't look blended, and so I didn't like it, but I would go in with like the NYX contour palette or something like that as well. But I'm using my Milani Baked Blush in Berry Amore, and then going in with the Wet n Wild Illuminating Palette in Catwalk Pink. Now these palettes, again, the Wet n Wild, they're really good. I just feel like the color didn't match me correctly, and so I actually ended up going in and fixing my highlight a little bit later. But now I'm using the NYX Autumn Lip Liner because it's red, right? And I tried to match it the best that I could, but I really recommend that you line your lips with lip liner because it'll help your lipstick last a little longer. And see, I actually went in with the ColourPop highlighter in Wisp because it's my favorite, and I needed more highlight. I'm a highlight addict, I told you guys. But there's so many reds out there at the drugstore. I would say literally use your favorite lipstick in red because the formula matches your personality. But the Milani liquid lipstick is so good. If you find a red one, get it. But I'm going to be using the Makeup Academy red lipstick. It works just as well, but it's just kind of like an old style lipstick. You know, we're all up into liquid lipsticks now, so this is the old style. The original lipstick. And I'm going to use my NYX Intense Butter Gloss and Apple Crisp. To be honest, I just feel like glossy lips scream holidays for me, and so I needed to do it. And I went back in with my mascara to go ahead and coat my lower lashes because obviously those need a little bit of love too. And I'm going to go in and use my L'Oreal Silk Kiss Me highlighter pencil. I'm not sure how to say that, but I literally use that on my like waterline and then go in with glitter and white eyeshadow to kind of brighten up that inner corner. And then obviously got to finish everything off with some setting spray because I need my makeup to last. And if you guys have watched my trick for foundation, just pat it in, and that way it'll kind of help adhere and set your makeup. So we're done, and I can't believe this entire look was drugstore. I'm obsessed with it. So I hope you loved it. I love you, and I can't wait to see you guys in my next video. Don't forget to give this video a giant thumbs up if you liked it, and subscribe. Join the family. We're nice here. And leave me a comment down below. I will be checking them. And if you guys like this makeup, definitely send me a pic of you wearing it. I would love to see it. But I love you guys, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!